Who's the weirdest person you've ever met? When I was growing up I had a friend named Merlin. Merlin was by far the most interesting guy I have ever known. When we were all in elementary school, myself and a group of my friends would go over to Merlin's house to look at his absolutely massive adult films collection. The reason he was able to maintain and gradually grow his compendium of adult films without his mother noticing was because he had figured out an ingenious way of hiding it. Merlin's room had a row of unused cabinets all along the far side of his room. Early on he had discovered that cabinets that were adjacent to one another weren't separated by any sort of barrier, so if he removed the shelves in all of the cabinets he was able to create a tunnel system within his walls. So he takes out the shelves and nails all of the cabinet doors shut from the inside except for one at the very edge of his room. This cabinet was the entrance, and it was locked with a key that only Merlin had. The tunnel was absolutely massive for a bunch of 10-year-old kids, and at one time I remember we crammed about 16 of us in there. Anyway, once a week or so a bunch of us would all head over to Merlin's place and dutifully go up to his room under the guise of getting a head start on our homework. We'd lock the door, drop our backpacks on his bed, and neatly file into the adult films tunnel one after another. The tunnels themselves were spectacular. Merlin had actually taken the time to decorate the interior walls. He had stolen a bunch of Christmas lights from his garage and lined the cabinet walls with them so we wouldn't bump into each other as we crawled Great Escape style through the cramped network of empty cabinets. He had also taken a few of the removable posters from the Playboys he had and used them to spruce up the place. Typically the more magazines you saw on the walls, the closer you were getting to the end of the tunnel, kind of like signposts hinting at a nearby treasure. And what? A treasure it was. Once you reached the end of the tunnel, you were greeted with a sort of Shangri-La, where stacks of magazines were neatly organized and alphabetically arranged and even color-coded. Whoever got to the end first was responsible for taking your order. You'd call out what you were looking for, and if Merlin had it, you got it. Redheads? Bam! Here's that special 1988 issue with the 4-page spread. Big honkers? No problem, here's 3 different mags that might have what you're looking for. More often than not, if you had something specific in mind that you wanted to look at that day, Merlin could find it for you. If he didn't have it, he'd go the extra mile to acquire it so that you would have it at the next get-together. The weirdest part was all of us playing soggy biscuit to the magazines in the tunnel. Now that was strange.